Alright, so for the next step, what we need to do is create a new layer, a new rectangle. So we're going to take rectangle tool here, selected, and this time we're going to draw a new rectangle over top of the other one. And if we go to layers, we will notice that we have two layers. They are identical. The bottom layer, the bottom rectangle layer, scroll down to properties, and I'd like you to reassign the color to solid and go to the swatch for the fill bucket and insert number sign or pound. Let's do that again. Pound C C C C C, so 6 C's. It'll give you a gray. And what should happen now is you'll notice on the layers you have a rectangle that is gray and a rectangle that has the metallic feel. Make sure you select that bottom layer again. Go back down to properties, and for stroke set it to none. And you will also need to do the same thing for the top layer. So the top rectangle layer, set your stroke to none. So you should not have a black box around your canvas. And you have two layers. One is a metallic feel pattern and the other one is a gray rectangle. Now if you have your layers mixed up, you need to remember that layers are like pieces of paper. So the top layer, if the light gray one is over top, you will not even be able to see your canvas because the gray color is almost the same. So you need to make sure that it's in this order. Next step, step 3, we need to insert some text. Now what you'll need to do is select the T for text, scroll down to properties, and for this activity I'm going to use the TW space CEN space MT text, and it's the condensed extra bold, so it will stand out nicely. Left click on the canvas, use uppercase letters, and what I'd like you to do is word process your name and media. Now if your name is really long, you feel free to hit enter and drop it down 2 lines or go right across horizontally. Your text should be approximately this big on your canvas, and we want to make sure that the left is approximately the same size as same location as the right, and then top and bottom should be approximately the same. Alright, so it should look something like that. Now click on your text, scroll down to properties, and reassign the color to black. Now we will move over to our layers, and we will need to duplicate our text layer. There are several ways of duplicating. One way is you can right click and you can go to duplicate layer, but this time what I'm going to show you is you just simply drag your layer into this little plus icon next to the garbage can, and now we've duplicated our layer. So at this point now we have 2 layers that says your name, media. Select the top layer, and I need you to go down to properties, and we will change the color swatch from black, go to fill option, drop it from solid down to pattern, and what I'd like you to do is for pattern you will need to load your pattern that you used as the background and hit open. And what should happen here is your text, you'll see a little bit of an outline of your text, but that's about it. If we scroll over to layers, the text is still there. It's just the same color as the background texture. One really important tip here is if we take a look at the current pattern, when you bring it in, your toggles should be set up the same way that it was set up for the rectangle that you had loaded earlier on in this activity. If it's not, you will need to resize it so that you can barely see the text. The next step you will need to do is select your top layer, and we will apply a blending mode. Now blending modes we can apply up here. We have a whole bunch of different options. Or we can go down to properties. Again, make sure you're selected on that top layer of your text. And I'd like you to go right down here where it's blending mode, and we will select linear light right here. And what should happen is your text will start to stand out a little bit. You'll still have the texture, but the black will start to come through. And you have completed a grunge-like metallic title graphic. Last step, go up to File, Save As, first name, last name, underscore activity 5 PNG in your activity 5 folder of unit 1. Hit Save. And what this will do is it'll create a working file with all of your layers. Again, this is a working file. If you would like to embed this to your website, you will need to go to File, and you're going to scroll down to Export Wizard. Continue. The web. Continue. Exit. For options, let's pick PNG 24 and take a look at the quality between the JPEG and the PNG file. It looks pretty good, pretty much the same. And then hit Export. Now navigate to your Activity 5 folder where you have the zip file and the pattern folder. You will already notice that there's a first name, last name, underscore activity 5 PNG in here. That's your work file that you had just saved prior to Export Wizard. So down under file name, and let's just call this activity first name, last name, underscore activity 5 for web, images only, and hit Save. The main difference between these two files is one will be flattened, one will be your work file. They're both PNG files. Take care.